Lectures from the Academy. Welcome! My name is Krissy Dawn, and for the next few minutes I'm going to share with you a lecture from the Blue Heron Academy entitled, Thriving in Difficult Economic Times. This presentation is one of a series of lectures selected from the many classes taught by Dr. Gregory T. Lawton to the students of the Blue Heron Academy of Healing Arts and Sciences from 1980 to 2022. Dr. Lawton founded the Blue Heron Academy in 1980 as a free school for women in transition who were victims and survivors of rape, incest, and domestic assault. Since that year, thousands of students have learned the practice of true traditional health care at the Academy and have gone on to establish practices serving the health care needs of their patients. Dr. Lawton is a licensed chiropractor, napropath, and acupuncturist, as well as a certified naturopath. In this podcast, we will look at how we can provide critical healthcare services to our patients during the most difficult of times and during periods of economic hardship. Thriving in difficult economic times. A Chinese adage defines crisis as opportunity. If this is true, how do you thrive financially during a difficult economic period? We are likely either in or headed into an economic recession. Previous recessions have occurred periodically in the United States, and during my healthcare career, I have experienced 6 of them. I have not only survived these difficult economic periods, but I have thrived and grown my practices throughout them. When I created the practice model for a medical massage therapy practice, or what I called the medical massage economic model, I based it upon my experience and success in building practices during economic downturns and periods of high unemployment. The basic concept behind the medical massage therapy economic model is built upon attracting and treating patients who, because of illness or chronic disease, need to obtain care for their poor health due to disease or accidents, and for the treatment of pain, disability, and suffering. When patients are in pain, or they have serious life-limiting medical conditions, they need care, and the ups and downs of the economy will not change this fact. Do patients with low back pain, arthritic knees and hips, multiple sclerosis, or rheumatoid arthritis suddenly stop needing care during hard times or a bad economy? From my experience, the answer is no. And in fact, the need for care and treatment only increases during hard times. However, the current situation in the United States is complex. The past recessions and economic hard times that I worked in and practiced during were usually caused by 1 or 2 major economic triggers, such as bank fraud, subprime home loans, or a collapse of the stock market. The current situation combines the throes of a lingering pandemic, social upheaval, political polarization, supply disruption and shortages, with the threat of escalating global conflict and war. At the beginning of the pandemic and its mandatory lockdowns, the spa massage industry experienced a complete shutdown, during which personal and cosmetic services provided in a salon or spa were prohibited by state executive orders. Additionally, many spa and salon customers, especially older clients, were afraid to seek personal care for services for fear of contracting the coronavirus. Therapeutic massage therapists saw a drastic reduction in their income. If it had not been for the economic stimulus packages and government money provided to them, they would have been in very difficult financial circumstances. This scenario was not true for the medical massage therapist who provided treatment for patients who required healthcare treatment for medical conditions, pain, disability, chronic pain, and other diseases, disorders, and conditions where medical care and medical massage therapy were essential for pain management and to maintain musculoskeletal mobility and function. Medical massage therapists who provided corrective and restorative care to their patients were not prohibited by the government mandates and lockdowns from treating their patients who needed care. So, how does a medical massage therapist thrive in difficult times? You thrive by providing what the public perceives is a critically needed service. In your patient communications, consultation, texts, emails, social media posts, and website, however you communicate with your patients, you need to let your patients know what you can do to 1. Alleviate pain, 2. Improve functionality and range of motion, 3. Control and manage chronic conditions, and 4. Reduce stress-related illness and exacerbations of disease. If you have been conducting an actual medical massage therapy practice based upon treating patients with a medical or chiropractic necessity for care, then you have a strong foundation for your healthcare practice. But during hard times, you need to reach out to your patients and to educate them regarding your ability to assist them during a national healthcare crisis. Just as you rely on your own personal healthcare providers to provide you with information regarding your personal health, your patients need to hear from you during hard times and times of crisis. If you have acquired additional healthcare training and skills, such as in herbal medicine, clinical nutrition, Asian medicine, physiotherapy, or therapeutic exercise therapy, then you have other ways in which you can assist your patients and additional ways in which to generate practice income. These skills and abilities are of great assistance during difficult times. In many other countries, in Asia and in Europe, holistic and complementary medicine is being used alongside conventional medicine for the treatment of mild to moderate coronavirus infections. In past years, when there have been economic problems, I have seen increasing numbers of people unable to afford the high cost of conventional medical care turn to lower-cost alternative health care solutions. Is this time not an opportunity to educate the public about what we can do to lower stress, boost the immune system, and to use diet, nutrition, and herbal medicine to prevent and to treat disease and chronic conditions? In terms of COVID-19 and other infectious diseases, do you know which herbs or herbal formulas should be recommended for prevention, or which ones would be effective and should be recommended to patients for treatment of an actual infection? Do you know which supplements to recommend to boost a patient's immune system and resistance to infection? Do you have reliable sources for these herbs and supplements? Are you ready to provide these herbs and supplements to your patients? Have you been communicating this information to your patients? Are you helping your patients with their healthcare needs right now during this ongoing crisis, or are you missing in action? If you want to help your patients and maintain an economically stable practice during this current healthcare crisis and the rapidly approaching difficult times to come, then you need to develop an effective practice plan. Your practice plan needs to include 1. A clear message to your patients regarding your services and how you can benefit them. 2. Frequent communication and updates to your patients regarding your services and the conditions that you treat. 3. A detailed explanation of how you can help and assist them through medical massage, holistic health care, herbal medicine, clinical nutrition, and/or Asian medicine. 4. An invitation to your patients to contact you for assistance with the formulation of a personal preventative health care plan. 5. A list of practical solutions for your patients' health care problems. 6. A list of actions your patients can take related to diet, nutrition, physical activity, personal behavior and habits, supplementation, and herbal medicine. 7. Instructions as to how your patients can gain access to effective manual therapy, herbal medicines, and dietary and clinical nutrition. 8. An explanation of how your patient can maintain existing treatments and therapy for chronic conditions. 9. An explanation of how your patients can achieve a sense of calmness and security, and how they can manage stress, anxiety, and panic. The first practice that I worked in had been established in 1908, and it survived World War I, the Great Depression, World War II, the Korean War, the extreme social conditions of the 1960s, and the severe economic times of the 1970s. During the Great Depression, that manual therapy practice was the only business in the building in which it was located to survive the economic hard times of the 1930s. It survived because that practice provided a needed and affordable healthcare service to the patients that it served. By building a successful practice, you can serve your patients, your community, and learn to thrive during difficult times. The choice is yours. Begin today to build a successful and thriving healthcare practice that meets the needs and requirements of your patients, or stand by and watch as your practice dwindles away and your patients go elsewhere for care. Or even worse, are forced into more expensive, less effective, or dangerous treatments. This has been another in a series of podcasts based upon lectures from the Blue Heron Academy. I hope that you enjoyed this podcast and will return for more of our upcoming presentations. Thank you for your kind attention, and stay healthy.